Hello everyone, my name is Elisa Bustamante and I'll be talking about my language identity. I speak English, French, Italian, and Spanish, which is my mother tongue. I was born in Caracas, Venezuela, but came to Margarita when I only had a couple of weeks old. I live in the northeastern coast of Venezuela, which is characterized for talking really fast and in a particular way. And it's mainly used here in Margarita, but sometimes in other coastal cities as well. Margariteños, as we are called, can be recognized by the transliteration of the L in R, for example, saying orientar instead of oriental. Also, the article L tends to be changed by er. Examples would be el mar, the sea, el sol, the sun, el pájaro, the bird. The diffusion of Margarita to other areas of eastern Venezuela is due to the fact that Margarita is an island where fishing and tourism are important activities. In addition to being an area of traditional immigration to other relative close places on the continent which favored contact and therefore homogenization in the language. There's also lisping, pronouncing C, S, and Z like the Spanish Z, like for example saying the instead of C. It's also very common, the word muchacho or muchacha, since it is used as an expression of astonishment. This language modality also extends throughout the northeastern region, the states of Anzoátegui, Monagas, and Sucre. Let me give you some examples of words that Margariteños tend to use a lot. For example, mijo literally translates to my son, but in a sense generally linked to astonishment as an interjection. Compay or comay, which translates to godmother or godfather, but is usually referred to a good friend or neighbor. Ay, Virgen del Valle. This is an expression of surprise, astonishment, and sometimes it can also mean pain. This is because Orientales are usually very attached to the Catholic religion. Now, from my point of view, I don't speak Margariteño because of my social surroundings. Around 98% of the people that I relate on a daily basis are from other parts of the country, but have lived here for many years. I'm not going to lie, but sometimes I tend to speak a bit fast in both Spanish and English. Maybe I acquired it from my mother because she is from a small town in Los Valles del Tuy, where they tend to speak fast as well. My dad was from Maracaibo, but he didn't talk like a Maracucho. I would say that I have a very good knowledge of Spanish, and something that many friends tell me is that I use some words that are not that common. For example, when I don't want to eat anymore, I don't say estoy full, but instead I say estoy satisfecha. I believe that I use this kind of words and do some other things because of my path. He was raised in a very strict household in the 1930s, and he tried to pass along some things to me. Now for my English, I've been speaking it since a very young age. My father spoke English because he was sent to a boarding school in Pennsylvania and wanted me to learn the language. At the age of 6, we moved to Miami, which is a very diverse and multilingual city, and lived there for around 2 years. There were a lot of Latino speakers and many spoke Spanglish, which is a language variety that refers to a blend of words and grammar of the two languages. Also, I had the influence of given Spanish from some of my teachers and friends. Now, for English, when I read, I tend to pronounce the words correctly without skipping a letter, which is completely different when I speak it because it depends on the situation. And I can also do it really fast. When I'm speaking English with my friends, I tend to use a lot of slang words and informal language. I also had some influence of Canadians and British teachers throughout school. That helped me a lot to improve my vocabulary. Now, moving on to French, I learned it when I was a teenager and then started again at university. I think I could consider it as a standard French. I had many years without practice, and nowadays I try to watch a movie or read some news because it's getting a bit rusty. My Italian's not that good when it comes to speaking because I do have an accent, but I can figure it out where it is from. I learned it at the university and had the chance to practice with some amazing professors. I believe that English has influenced my Spanish because sometimes I forget the Spanish words, but I remember how to say it in English. And my friends sometimes tend to tease me because of that. And it has also happened to me with the other languages, but it's not that common.